first 2 years as president, Ron Klain reflects. The atmosphere at Joe Biden's presidential inauguration in January 2021 was more uncertain than triumphant. Just 2 weeks after rebels attempted to block his accession, Biden, who had soundly defeated Donald Trump, took the oath of office. At the time, his prospects for passing any meaningful legislation were further dimmed by bitter national disagreement. But Biden, whose personal and political voyage had given him a certain fatalism about life's vicissitudes, was oddly fitted to that atmosphere, of incomplete arrival, of glory interrupted. Biden once said, "To fail to realize that life is going to knock you down is to fail to appreciate the Irishness of life," quoting the late Daniel Patrick Moynihan, an Irish Catholic politician. Ron Klain, a Democratic strategist who first came into contact with Joe Biden in 1986 while still a law student at Harvard, found work on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which was led by the outspoken senator from Delaware. Klain has been with Biden for the most of his half-century in politics. Years later, Biden appointed Klain as his White House Chief of Staff, a crucial and demanding job in charge of managing all aspects of domestic and foreign policy issues. Perhaps as a result of the two men's prolonged collaboration, Klain, an Indiana-born Jew, adopted the Irish philosophy of life as a motto for the incoming administration: "Don't allow the highs and lows feel excessively high or low." After continually defying expectations that he would lose, Biden took pride in his homemade stability recipe. When his wife and daughter died in a car accident shortly after he was first elected to the Senate, there were rumblings that he would never regain the strength to serve in the Senate. Later, in 1987, after plagiarism allegations forced him to withdraw from the presidential race, and again in 2020 after he finished fifth in the New Hampshire primary, there were more rumblings. Every campaign believes that the media is misrepresenting them, but Biden and his advisors had to deal with a lot of opposition. Even after he was nominated, commentators made fun of Biden's constant calls for unity, his claims that he could persuade enough Republicans to vote with him in Congress to pass significant legislation, and his claims that a man of his age could win over the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. However, Klain, a campaign advisor at the time, thought that Biden's congressional expertise could be able to open the door to more ambitious legislation than his detractors thought. That summer, when I spoke with Klain, he used Lyndon Johnson as an example, saying, "LBJ might not have been the wokest, coolest, hippest Democrat, but he's the person who got the most true progressive social justice legislation done since FDR." Late in January, when I went to see Klain in his office in the West Wing, he had just announced that he would be leaving his position as Chief of Staff on February 8, 2023, the day after Vice President Biden was set to deliver his second State of the Union address. At age 61, Klain was with a quiet intensity. He had a very paranoid political radar, according to more than one White House colleague. He also had a catastrophic imagination for second and third order effects that would seem as unlikely as a global epidemic once did. Our talk has been trimmed for length and clarity. It covered the lessons learned from the previous 2 years as well as potential future developments for Biden, Democrats, and American democracy. Klain made a gesture toward an unlit fireplace to signal the beginning of our chat. In reference to testimony provided by a former White House aide at the committee hearings on January 6, he declared, "That's where Mark Meadows torched records. I haven't ignited it a single time." That's today's latest news. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that this channel can continue to exist. Thank you for listening to the end and I hope it's useful.